Hi Chris, Greg here. It's Saturday morning, I guess the 20th, and did my first video after seeing you in Maine. It was great to see you and Susan and see everybody up there. I had a lot of fun. Not a whole lot of great stuff about the garden, but I'll give you a little quick tour. This is kind of the time of year when you get a whole bunch of produce, which I've been picking like crazy, which is great. That's fun. But things sort of get away from you. You're going to see how, I was really proud of how neat the garden was all years up until now, up until, being away on vacation. I was busy at work, real busy at work last week, so haven't been down here doing any sort of maintenance, haven't done any weeding, haven't, cut the grass or anything. So this is sort of the time of year where things get overgrown. Plants reach their peak and start to peter out. You'll see that in the Roma tomatoes. But what the heck? It's been a good year so far. I have a lot of produce to pick still. Probably won't get down here to do a lot of work for a while, but anyway, let's start. Let's take a look at the Roma tomatoes, which have just been about as more productive than any tomatoes I've ever had this year. You can see the plants are sort of, well, tired, to say the least. In fact, I wonder if maybe I didn't have some late blight, because actually some of these tomatoes are just dead. They're spent. But I cannot begin to tell you how many Roma tomatoes I've picked. In fact, to put it in perspective, is it yesterday? Maybe it's the day before yesterday. I picked literally a bushel. A heaping, a mounded bushel actually, of Roma tomatoes, and Karen froze a lot of them, and I actually canned 5 quarts yesterday, or yeah, I think it was. And unfortunately, one of the quart jars broke when I put it in the water bath, so I lost one. But I got 4 quarts of Romas, just a boatload of frozen. They do pretty well frozen, and I have a lot more to pick here. So these have just been, and that, I don't know if you saw it, but a bushel basket's a big basket. It's a lot bigger than a peach basket or something like that. I'm guessing that had to be, well, 30 pounds for sure. But if somebody told me, if I actually put it on a scale and weighed it, which I'm trying to do with most of my stuff, it might have been 40 pounds. I mean, it was a big bunch of. Got some nice flowers here. Really happy I did these zinnias. And there are the sunflowers. I'm telling you, that's that big one up there. That's way more than 10 feet. The question is whether it's 11, maybe 12. I don't know. It's probably not 12, but it's certainly 11 feet. And you zoom in here, and you see the flower there. Great big head, a lot of bees. They're kind of neat. Anyway, let's go back to some other things. Cucumber's still producing. I got a couple of big ones I need to pick while I'm down here. So a lot of cucumbers this year. These are the heirloom tomatoes. Yeah, so-so. I don't know if I didn't take care of them properly, or if it was just a weird year or what. They're delicious, but they're really sensitive. And they don't keep very long, so I don't know. I'll plant them again next year and sort of figure things out, but kind of mixed feelings. Peppers, just terrific. Couldn't be better. Just productive, getting a lot of great peppers, all the different varieties. Just terrific growth of peppers. We've been eating a lot of peppers, and let's take a look at these sunflowers. These are great. I love these sunflowers. I mean, they look good, but they're also wonderful for the bees. So they're great for the bees, and then you can see this one over here. That one's starting to dry out already. And this fall when I'm down here working, I'll have a lot of birds, goldfinches and purple finches and all different types of birds. And they'll actually go up there and pluck the sunflowers right out of the flower. And so that gives them food for the fall. They're kind of neat. Alright, so back to the peppers. Just had tremendous amount of peppers. Really, really good. All kinds of peppers. Hot peppers, sweet peppers, bell peppers, frying peppers. Did a couple of fun things with them. Hold on one second. Swiss chard, again. See, it's tired, get some brown leaves. We've had plenty of rain lately, so I'm not sure it's that. I think maybe the heat. It's been a hot summer, maybe that's sort of stressed it out. I'm hoping it comes back with some cooler nights. You can see here I trimmed it off, just bushed it right down to the ground, hoping that'll get some better growth with some cool nights, cool days. I was starting to tell you about the peppers. Done a couple of fun things with them. Made some stuffed jalapenos yesterday for the first time, and we just loved them. Stuffed them with cream cheese, wrapped them in bacon, and they were delicious. The jalapenos I have they're not incredibly hot, just a nice little kick to them. And I've been pickling some peppers, so we're gonna have peppers for a long time. These are the they're lemon yellow peppers. They're not mature yet. They really just look like light green, but they are really prolific. If they're good, I'm gonna have a lot of them, whether they're good or they're not good. These plants really grew big and are really prolific. Raspberries are coming along great. Some of the berries are not as big as you'd think, but I have a lot here today to pick, and a lot of buds coming, so we're going to have raspberries for a long time. Just show you a couple more quick things. Hopefully I'll make this quicker than some of the others. The eggplant, I've bragged about my eggplant a couple times to you. It's just remarkably good this year. Just, the plants are big and healthy. I have far more eggplant than we could ever eat. I mean, we've been trying to eat it. Karen made some fried eggplant that we froze. We'll use in casseroles this winter, or make eggplant parmesan, which we really like. But there's not a whole lot you can do to preserve it. I may try it. I looked at some recipes. It didn't look really attractive to me, but I guess they pickle eggplant, marinate it, and pickle it. Here's some more peppers over here. You can see some green beans. Picked a boatload of green beans when we came back from Maine, and I'm surprised they're still producing. But I'll probably get one more picking from that patch there. Here's some summer squash, still producing. Some more Swiss chard. Looks a little better than the other stuff, but still not great. Beets, zucchini. These really haven't produced yet. These are younger plants, but they'll be producing soon. And then over there is my last planting of summer squash. So there's one thing I'm going to have. It's more squash than we can eat this year. Which reminds me, one of the things we did with some great big zucchini when we got back from vacations, some of the zucchini were, half as big as baseball bats. So we shredded it and froze it, and that way we've got it preserved. We can use it for zucchini bread and other baking applications, and use it in frittatas and those things. We've never frozen shredded zucchini before, but everything I read online says it's pretty good. These are pole beans. Not as productive as you'd think, given how thick they are, but not bad. Alright, let's take a look at some winter squash, and then we'll call it a wrap. While I'm walking over there, the other thing that we've done great, I don't know if we talked about it, but my family loves basil pesto. They just love pesto. The boys love it, the girls love it. They cook it with pasta, cook it with vegetables, eat it as a snack with crackers, like a dip. Just fantastic. So we make a boatload of pesto. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how much pesto we make. And Karen made her first batch a couple of days ago, and fortunately I have a ton more basil, so we can keep making that. Anyway, here's the these are the winter. This is all winter squash, or most of this is winter squash. I think there are some pumpkins over there, but this is winter squash. We have several variety. Let's see if I can show you. This one here, that's a butternut. That's my favorite winter squash. Sort of a standard winter squash. We'll pick that after the first frost, and then store it in the garage where it's cool and keep it dry. And these squash will stay at least until midwinter. You know, maybe longer, as long as the skin doesn't get bruised. This one is called a spaghetti squash. You sort of cut it in half and bake it, and the flesh is sort of stringy like spaghetti, but it's not stringy as in tough. It's just, it sort of gives you the impression that you have spaghetti, and it's pretty good. Karen likes it a lot. Here's another butternut. Butternut looked nice and big this year. Let me just show you. Here's one, a different variety. That's called a buttercup. It's not ripe yet, but that's a buttercup squash. Once again, it's sort of a sweet squash. You put it in the oven, and pretty good. And the nice thing about the winter squash is they last a long time. So you're eating from the garden in midwinter. And I mentioned some pumpkins. Here's a nice big one that'll make a good jack-o'-lantern. These are the broccoli and things. No, broccoli's over there, but here's the cabbage. Kind of disappointing that most of my cabbage split. They were coming along nice, and they split. We had a lot of rain, and I guess the moisture, they sucked up a lot of moisture, and the cabbage had split. Well, I'll still get plenty of cabbage, but a little disappointed in that. So anyway, my friend, that's the late August tour. A little bit messier than it's been all year. Probably will be now until the end. Nothing I can really do about that. But that's okay too. Hope you enjoy your weekend and don't work too hard. Say hello to Susan. Take care.